What's going on, guys? I'm the White Guy, and today we're playing some more MX vs ATV Supercross Encore, and we're checking out the Squall Valley Freeride today, which, unfortunately, it still is, like the other free rides in MX vs ATV Supercross Encore, where they just don't really like to run on PC at all, regardless of your PC specs. But that being said, we'll try and make the most out of this, because I picked it up planning to make videos on it, but then I never did, so hopefully you guys don't mind the frame rate too much. You know, it certainly bugs me a lot that it's only running at like 34 frames a second, but given that YouTube itself was, every video on YouTube was 30 frames a second until like a year or two ago. That being said, that maybe it's not a huge issue for watching the game, as we do a quadruple backflip over the ramps almost. We could probably do a double backflip off of that even, I bet. No, come on. You can do a double backflip off of that. I know you can, game. Or no, whatever. We'll settle for a single flip. And that the point was trying to prove that you can do backflips over lots of stupid things in this. I backflipped a singular whoop in a Supercross track, and I did actually backflip a whoop, which it is possible. You just gotta angle things just right. We can probably backflip off of this even, I'd be willing to bet. Yep, there we go. Now, not land it maybe, but if we dump the clutch just right, we might be able to get away with it. No, maybe not. Okay. Alright, we'll just go hit some jumps, whatever. This is the Squall Valley Freeride track for those of you who haven't seen it. It's not exactly new, I just figured it could be neat to come through and try and make a video here, but and show you guys what they attempted to make like a cool freeride track, but compared to like the freeride tracks they had in Reflex, this one in my opinion just doesn't really hold up to the Reflex freeride tracks at all. Because like even like the Alive freeride tracks, like they had lines going through them that made sense. There's one whatchamacallit. What was the one in Alive with like the really big canyon? It's like it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember the name of it. Something or other. Slide Rock Canyon, I think that was it. That was a really cool freestyle track. They had lots of lines in it that just flowed, whereas this track just seems like whoever made it kind of crapped out ramps in really weird spots and didn't really give it too much thought, and none of the lines seem to flow all that much. Like, there's a ramp there that... The whole preload system in this game just kind of screwed everything up, because it's impossible to know how to hit ramps anymore now, because it's just not... They need to get rid of preloading. That system just needs to be gone. Oh, can we ride? Nope, we can't ride through the cables. Dang it. But all these ramps, they just seem like they're placed out in random areas where they don't really make any sense. There really don't seem to be any lines to flow through it. But for those who are interested, we will make an attempt at riding through some of this track here and try to make the best of what the hand we were dealt with the cards. So we can try and do a couple tricks here and there, but there really aren't any jumps that condone themselves for that. We can do a super can though. And can I actually jump this gap now? Yeah, we actually made that. Nice. Alright, there's some solar panels over here we might be able to catch a bounce. Nope, never mind. There's a track in the way. Which, it seemed like the main goal of adding these free rides was just to add nationals tracks you can free ride around in, which is kind of neat, but it'd be neat if some of the free ride tracks actually had, like, they made lines that were hittable instead of just a bunch of kind of random seeming stuff that doesn't really have any thought to it that I can see. Let's hop over this. Oh, we got going too fast. There's a jump somewhere you can hit it like 90 miles an hour and go pretty far, but I can't remember where it is. I think there's something down yeah, there's a ramp right there we can try and go for if we get the... That's the other thing. Steering in this game just does not like working at all. It's just very hard to... Alright, let's get the camera... No, put the camera back behind the bike, please and thank you. Alright, let's, we actually might need to pop over to 450 instead of 500, so we'll hop over to that real quick. For anybody wondering what this, the menu, see, this is the other thing, my CPU gets used more at the menu than actually playing the game. Like, if I sit at the main menu, it sits at like 70% CPU usage. If I actually start a track, it drops down to like 40%. And that just doesn't make any sense to me. The menu, literally sitting at this menu you see right here, these menus use more of my CPU and GPU than actually running the track, which is like, it's using like, and I actually use the track, it uses like 40% of my CPU and 50% of my GPU's performance, or processing power, whereas if they optimized the game, ideally that number would go up and the frame rates would go up. So if I was like pinged at 100% utilization, and I was only getting 34 frames a second, I'd be like, yeah, okay, we need new hardware. but when I'm getting 34 frames a second and it's using 40% of my graphics card, or 40% of my CPU and half of my graphics card, it's like, okay, we should be able to bump that up a bit. I don't know what's going on there, but that number should be going up. I'd rather be using more of my hardware to run the game faster, but that's just me. Maybe I'm alone in that thought process. I don't know. I could be alone. I don't think I am, though. We'll try and find some sort of lines on the Hunter CRF4 fatty here if we can. Can we do a rock solid off of this? Yeah, sure, why not? Hop back on the bike. I can't see the bike anymore because the microphone's blocking my screen. But we'll do our best. We can probably huck a double backflip over that. Realistically, you can do at least a single flip off of it, right? Yep, there we go. There's your backflip to 180 right there. I see a ramp over here we can try and line up for. Do that as a step up, and there's another ramp right there that we just completely missed because you can't really turn too well in this game. And that ramp apparently just launches you off to nowhere. Don't know why that ramp is there, but we can launch a double backflip up the hill. And it's somewhere there's got to be a place we can do a quadruple backflip on this track somewhere. There's got to be. There usually is at least 4 of them on the track. Let's see, I see a ramp over there we can try and launch off of. Again, just ramps just seem to be randomly thrown in here with no real rhyme or reason behind it. There isn't really any lines I found that flow. And that little buzzing sound means we're about to get shot off a cannon. So let's fling it on over. We can, sure, 360. There we go, step down 360, okay. See a ramp over here. Let's roll into this thing full power and see where it sends us. Again, just a super can apparently. And double backflip. Triple back. I don't even know. I lost track of what was going on there because the cameras just started getting all kinds of sideways on us. It's a fun thing to try and figure out. All right, let's cut over this way. Can try and huck a triple flip. Ah! Usually that works, I swear. Usually those triple flips work. Nope, we gotta get the backflip to go right there. There we go. That's what we needed to happen. All right, somewhere there's gonna be a triple flip ramp. So I bet we can probably single. We probably should have. Nope, we should have committed to the double backflip over that. Ah, dang it. You can possibly double backflip that. No, we didn't get the stupid rotation speed going. There's a single flip. I'm trying to think of where the ramps are in this because there's no rhyme or reason to them. Haha, there's one right here. And cliffhanger. There we go. Alright, I see ramps over there behind me, but I also see another one right here. Let's launch a 360. Or not, because you can do 360s in this game, but you have to, like, trick the ramp into scrubbing you off it in just the right way, and it's very not fun to do. I'm also going to point out, I'm pretty sure we just, like, clipped the guy's head through the ground and didn't get crashed until the bike hit the ground, so that's interesting. Let's try and scrub the 360. There we go, perfectly spun, flat spin 360. Put that down to flat because it's generally pretty difficult to crash in this game if you land wheels down. You can try and do like a 360 underflip type deal. There we go, that's like a regular Moto 360. Let's pop up here and rock solid. There we go. We can body flip up this gap ramp thing if we hit the ramp actually. There we go. Oh god, these ramps are very hard to steer into, and we're getting side. Yeah, that line got ruined because you can't steer in this game. The bikes just like to get out of control and make it extremely difficult to put where you want them to go. I could try and gap over to the solar panel. Not going to quite make that gap, though. I see a wind-looking turbine thing that might be interesting to come check out over here. Yeah, sure, this looks... can we jump through that, actually? Maybe not, I don't know. Are we going to crash if we hit that? Is this an actual object? Well, I just dinged off the metal there, so I would assume it is. We can try and go for a lap of the Nationals track. I believe this is the the correct way around the Nationals track. Let's go for a lap if we can. There's lots of dugout whoops, and again, not too much for a rhyme or reason to where those are placed. It seems like it's just a rough section that you end up having to preload through. Step up. Okay, where's this national end up going? Because I believe this is, I think there actually might be 2 nationals tracks in here now that I think about it. And unless we come up to a very large hill in this, there are definitely 2 nationals tracks, because I know there's a large hill on one of them. Alright, so step down through that. We're doing good. Scrub? Yeah, wine, sure. We didn't really scrub it, but okay. We're doing alright so far. Yeah, this might be actually just one large track. Hold on. It's triple, step on, step off, on, bump, 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 preload, 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 preload through everything. Then when in doubt, just smash your clutch a few times for your extra turbo boost if you're getting worried about losing too much speed. Alright, this is, okay. This is actually kind of a neat nationals track. I just wish the frame rate was better. And I believe these are raceable too, but I'm not going to even attempt to do raceable stuff on this because the game runs bad enough just with solo playing it. So I'm not gonna mess with the whole making it even worse than it already is. But we're doing, seems to be all right. Also, in other sort of news type deal, I've been told that there's rumors that there's a new MX vs ATV game in the works down through the grapevine of forums and people that tell me things. I don't know where this information came from, don't know if it's true or not, but I'm being told the reason they're more or less abandoned Supercross Encore is because there's a new game in the works. And as far as I've noticed, some of the other things that had going on during the Nationals, they've it looks like they've kind of abandoned the Supercross Encore branding with that, and they're just going with MX vs ATV branding in their advertisements and sponsored things on the outdoor motocross racing. Which could suggest that maybe they noticed how bad of a flop this game was, and they're trying to move away from this as best they can. Which I don't know. That's just what I've noticed. If I don't have any special information from them. I don't really know anything about what's going on. I can just I know about as much as the average consumer here does. They don't give me any special treatment. I don't get special things from them. I don't get any information from them. Although, like a couple years ago, they sent me some company they worked with sent me a copy of MX vs ATV Supercross Encore for PS3. Like, I told them, oh, I only have a PC, but if you gotta send me something, I guess I'll take a PS3 copy. And then I never really played it because I don't have a PS3. I have a PC. And that disc is just laying around somewhere. But if they would be happening to have new games in the works and they would like to potentially send me them to put out and show you guys, that would be interesting if anybody from Nordic or Rainbow is watching. But I do not believe they are. And if they've made it this far, I would speculate that they have not made it this far into a video on Supercross Encore, if I'm saying bad things about it. I strongly suspect that they are not going to be providing me a review copy in the future, because I posted honest reviews of Supercross Encore, not shill reviews being, oh, go buy it, it's the best thing ever, it just came out, you gotta go buy it. No. I try to be honest with you guys, and that honesty probably put me on a bad foot with them, because I really am not a huge fan of this game, but occasionally it can be enjoyable. The Stewart compound's kind of fun to mess with, but stuff like this, you get to each their own. We're about out of time for this video, though. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, for those of you that stuck around 13 minutes into a free ride video. If you got any comments, questions, suggestions, concerns, leave that in the comments section. Let me know if you guys would like to see, if you want more Supercross Encore on the channel, let me know and I'll try and do more of this game. Because there is a newer game than Reflex out. This is the newest MX vs ATV game. And if you guys would like to see more of this, let me know. I'll try and make it happen. Thank you very much for watching if you stuck around through like a 14-minute video here, and I'll catch you in the next one.